Hey, are you a big hitter who loses tennis matches to players that you should beat? Like you have a better serve, you have a big forehand, they're running all over the court, but at the end of the match when you shake hands, it's you that lost. Good news! I can help you win more of these matches. We're going to do this by reframing how we think of attacking and hitting big. It's going to be based on trying to force errors rather than how to hit winners. I'll give you 6 ways that you can do that as a big hitter, and we'll learn this together as we break down this 4.5 singles match. So let's get to it. Here are the 6 ways that you can force errors as a big hitter. Squong. Hey, I'm in the corner now. So here they are, the 6 ways that you as a big hitter can force errors. Placement, especially depth, height, spin, power, your position, and the time that you take away from your opponent. So let's dive into this match. We'll keep these up on the top so we can keep referencing them, and we'll see how these players, especially the player we have our eye on, anti-modes, who is a big hitter, big serve, big forehand, how do they use these skills to force errors in their opponent? And what are some things that we can learn as, let's say, 3-0, 3-5, 4-0 players from these solid players at 4-5, getting really good shots? What can we learn from them? What can we emulate in terms of forcing errors too? So let the match begin. This comes from our friends at UD Duty, a really excellent amateur tennis channel. They post a lot of videos of various levels and matchups. It's really great to learn from and to analyze and just to watch for entertainment. So link in the description, subscribe to them, subscribe to me, why not? Sub. Yeah, so I watched part 1 of this previously, which has anti-modes up over there on the serving side in the black shirt, up a break, 30-15 right now. It's been excellent serving throughout. And actually that's an opening I'm glad that he went for, even though this is a miss. And the first part of the set, so up to 3-2, the first 5 games, there was a lot of errors made from U Village, his opponent, out of A, meaning like the far forehand corner. Which, if you follow like Craig O'Shaughnessy, a statistician from the ATP who helped Djokovic in his kind of resurgence after a few years slump, and then he won 1 million Grand Slams after that. By tracking these many different kinds of stats, one of the most surprising ones was that more errors come out of A, the forehand corner, than any of the other 3 portions of the court. So if we go A, B, C, D. In fact, I'll put that up on the screen right now just to get a visual of that. There we go. Here it is broken down, A, B, C, D. Right, here's, I think this is Casper Ruud hitting a forehand, and Alex Zverev is his opponent. So you can see he's hitting a forehand from the C position, so like slightly on the backhand corner of the court. But of course, he's hitting an inside-in forehand here, C to A. So really similar situation from this last point we just saw from anti-modes going for the forehand from C into A towards U Village's forehand. A great play when that's open. People do not defend as well typically out of the forehand corner as they do out of the backhand. Just not as much practice doing it. Right, the forehand slice is not a shot people practice very much. So it's great to attack it. Plus people tend to overhit when they have on the run forehands. So many reasons to go after that target. Another great aggressive serve, short forehand. Yeah. Really nice. Oh, that's painful. Beautiful setup. Watch one more time. This is really good shot selection, really the whole time. Serve into the corner. There's a short ball down the middle. Attacks to the forehand, comes in. Smart backhand volley, good placement. Just barely missed the angle. Maybe took the eye off it slightly early. Another great serve into the corner. Yeah, attacking the forehand. How are we forcing errors? That's the question over and over. How are we forcing errors? That's bad shot selection, right? Ooh, rough. Great placement on the serve, but caught the tape. Yeah, that shot's not there yet. So this point is like a perfect example of what happens to big hitters a lot of the time, which is we'll get into a rally, and then if there's even like the slightest opening, or if the rally's gone on for too many shots, we'll just pull the trigger and try to end the point with a winner. Oftentimes when the opportunity is not really there yet, there's not really an opening. And so instead, let's switch this again to, instead of trying to hit winners, we're gonna try to force errors. We get 70% of points, this is the pro level, 70% of points end in errors, not winners. So let's focus on winning the points that end in errors. Let's control those. We'll end up getting more winners anyway because we're gonna be setting up these points in a smarter way. But so like in this example, in this point, let's watch again. It's a lot of good hitting. I mean, that's a defensive ball, kept it deep, pretty short. pretty short, pretty short, pretty short. So those are all right around the service line. We can get those deeper just by adding some height. It's the easiest, quickest way. Check out their position though. Both of their positions. So we've got, let's get a little graphical here, huh? We've got anti-modes here. What do you say, maybe 4 feet behind the baseline, something like that. And U-Village is in position, right here. He's maybe a step or two to the right of the hash mark, which is exactly where you want to be. Your opponent's behind the baseline. They're probably going to go cross court. So that's the shot you cover. So the down the line's a little bit open, but not for a winner. I mean, like up through the 5-0 level, we're not going to be hitting winners reliably from behind the baseline when our opponent is also behind the baseline. So change the focus here to how can I make my opponent make an error? Go with some more height, go with some more depth, wait for the opportunity a little bit longer. There's a short ball. Yeah, so U-Village there forced the error with depth, right? With placement and height. If you want to hit it deeper, hit it higher. Fantastic depth in the return. Oh, never mind, it's a little bit out. Fantastic return. Huge return. Good defense. That's a really similar example, right? There's more of an opening here. Like, this is a fantastic return. I mean, just blasted. U-Village is way off the court. A decent defensive ball, though. That's a little bit of angle to have to deal with because you're going to have to change directions to go down the line, right? The ball's coming from this direction, and we're trying to take it back this direction. That's a really hard direction change. Much more high percentage ball here is to drive cross court again, right? So to take that same ball and go cross court. If we're going to go down the line, we have to treat this as a setup ball. It's just too difficult to go for a winner in this situation. We can make him possibly make an error because this is an opening over in A. Cut a little late, cut a little high, mishit it and missed. Good serve, smart defensive return. I really like that ball from U-Village. Okay, so how did U-Village force the error there? Height, right? That's a good 5 feet over the net. It's not that deep, but with some spin, right? So we got height and spin, which put the ball out of anti-mode strike zone. So then we get an error from it above the shoulders. It's a that is a difficult backhand. Okay, anti-mode's broken, looking to hold serve and get back even to 4-all. And just really just lights out serving, honestly. This is such excellent serving. They're not aces, right? We're not getting aces off of these. Jeez, that's such a good attack. Oh my God, let's see that again. I was gonna say, he's not hitting, anti-modes isn't hitting a lot of aces, but consistent power into the corners with a little bit of movement too. That's so crucial. Great serve out wide, create an opening. That is just a confident shot. Great ball anti-modes. I love when you take the ball out of the air. The great aggressive serve. Smart, stick the backhand there. Ooh, hesitant, coming off that. Fantastic backhand. Okay, so how do we force the error there? This one you got to come in off of, right? As a big hitter, an offensive player, when we create opportunities where we get short balls like this, like that's very short, right? That's way inside the service line. This has got to be an invitation to come in, right? Attack, put pressure on, just with your positioning, right? One of the 6 thingies, right? We're going to go position on this as well. And it takes time away, right? Instead, we end up going backwards off of that short ball. Okay, defense. This is a really good shot. Look at that height. Okay, that's what creates the error here. Height and depth. Great ball. Another serve out wide. Super accurate serving. Excellent, excellent. Okay, out 4-all. U-Village serving. Smart defense. Gave yourself time. And a bad miss hit. I mean, that's a good example of like, make him hit one more ball, right? Because even as big hitters, we have to defend. A great recognition there that you were in a very defensive situation and just got the ball back in play, and it paid off. I like that. Smart placement way inside the lines. Another good defensive ball in there. Ooh, what a get. Oh my God. Those are two. That was an incredible lob, and what a passing shot. Oh my goodness. Smart inside out return. Way to dig that out. Got U Village, got to come in on that one. Good height and spin. Yeah, showing off the defensive skills here too. Good slices. That's too early. That's again a ball that's just like really, really high difficulty. I think players tend to underestimate how difficult this kind of shot is. This is a great slice. This is a smart way to handle this ball. Right, so again, let's get these arrows up. So we have this ball coming out of the corner at a pretty steep, like extreme angle, right? And then we're taking this down the line. That's okay for like a direction change to like reset the point and get it back into like a cross-court forehand to forehand rally. This is way high difficulty to go for a winner on. I discourage that play. We've seen it twice, and with two bad misses, right? Good return. Got it back in play. Make him play a volley. Beautiful. Everything very, very good in that point. What an incredible volley by U Village there too. The feather touch. Move the ball, please. Like it. Ooh, and the coming in off it. Yes. Overhit the volley. Let's see. Good split step. I think just like slightly off balance. Maybe going for a little bit too much pace on the volley. Not totally clear what happened there without some more examples, but I'd really like that you came in. Pressure points, right? 5-4 in the set. Let's consider where we are. This is a time where we really got to step up and make them play their weaknesses to beat you. Use your strengths for their weaknesses. This is way too risky of a shot. Good serve. Good rally ball. So yeah, right on the service line, this is either, okay, let's take this as an approach and come in, or we try to gain a little advantage in the point. Make them hit an on-the-run ball. Use one of these 6 methods to get them to hit a weak shot, to make an error. Use some depth. Put some extra pace in the ball, but somewhere that they can still get to give them a chance to make an error off of it. This is, yeah, clips the tape and goes barely wide. It's just that you might make that ball maybe like 6 out of 10 times, but it's just too risky of a target for, especially with the situation. Smart return, high cross court. Yeah, exactly. Attack this to A. Okay, fine. More conservative approach there, go down the middle. The one before that was a lot better time to go to A than that. There you were kind of moving back on that shot. Great serve. Recognized it, came in. Good. Another good serve. Cross court. Yeah. And there's the break. Yeah, so really good tennis, right? So many good points, so many good decisions, good big hitting, smart shot selection most of the time. And then a few, especially in that last game, really. It's really in that last game, that 4-5 game, that some of the decision making broke down. Started going for like riskier things that didn't have a ton of payoff unless they were winners. But excellent serving, really good attack on the forehand. You get the ball so solid. Your backhand, you get pretty solid as well. I would back off of trying to use the backhand as a weapon unless you get like a really comfortable shot. All right, anti-modes. For your game, let's recap how these 6 methods of forcing errors can come into play for you. So for placement and depth, that was really effective, right? When you add a little extra height, like think of keeping the ball about 3 feet over the net with the amount of spin that you hit, if the ball deeper. A lot of times you were stroking the ball really well, but low, and then so it's landing around the service line, so it's less difficult to deal with. Yeah, that goes exactly with height. Height and depth are so connected to each other. If you want to hit it deeper, hit it a little higher. Shortcut, it works. Spin, you hit the ball fairly flat, but your forehand has a good amount of rotation on it. I wouldn't say you're causing a lot of errors with your spin, but rather it's allowing you to swing out in your strokes freely and hit the ball hard, which is what you want to do. It's your strength. 4, power, duh. Yeah, you have a very powerful serve. That's like the cornerstone of your game that I see. And your Forehand too. You hit with a lot of pace. You're able to attack it really well. I would say don't underestimate how difficult it is for your opponents to handle the amount of pace that you're hitting. You're hitting the ball hard, and you are just having trouble all the time just with the pace, especially when it was deep. Those two things together, some height with some depth and your natural power that you hit, relying on those and recognizing that your opponents will make errors just with those three things combined with your natural shot. You don't need to go for quite as much. Going for fewer winners will win you more matches, I swear. Your positioning was good, was really good almost all the time. A little hesitance with coming into the net in that one point. Your movement into the net sometimes is a little bit slow, so your positioning isn't as tight as it could be. Work on taking the ball earlier. It's like recognizing when you have the short ball and punishing it by taking time away. This would be something I would add to your game, like a skill to practice and get better at that'll translate into more points one. This would be one you could absolutely do. So taking time away, getting up earlier to short balls, recognizing when your opponent's like either stretched out or off balance, getting up to those quick and not allowing them time to recover will win you more points at the normal pace that you already hit the ball. So there you go. Some ways that you as a big hitter and anti-modes as a big hitter can win more matches, really without changing your game very much. It's just shifting our focus to forcing errors instead of hitting winners. It will pay off, I promise. Thanks for hanging out. Do the like and subscribe, all that kind of stuff that happens down here. Thank you, and I'll see you for the next one. Kaboom!